Hello, hello everyone. Good evening. Welcome to Mighty Dow Web3 Career Series. I'm Lisa, your host for tonight, and also from the BD team at Mighty Dow. It's 10:02 in Taipei right now, and we are about to get started. Thanks everyone for joining us. We hope tonight's conversation will give you practical insights into the current Web3 hiring market, especially if you are exploring new opportunities or thinking about making the move from Web2 to Web3. Before we dive in, let me give a brief introduction to MultiDAO. MultiDAO is a Web3 talent incubator. Our mission is to connect high-quality talents with opportunities across the industry, while sharing useful insights, supporting career growth, and helping more people find their path in Web3. So if you find tonight's discussion helpful, feel free to share your key takeaways on Twitter. We'd love to keep the conversation going. Let's grow together. So tonight we are super excited to be joined by our guest, LJ. LJ is a Web3 headhunter. He has extensive experience working with founders, startups, and talent across the global Web3 space. And tonight he'll be sharing his perspective on global hiring trends, what early stage teams are really looking for, and how candidates from Web2 can better position themselves for opportunities in Web3. So LJ, thank you so much for being here tonight. How are you doing? Hi LJ, are you here? Can you hear me? It seems some disconnection with LJ. Okay. So LJ is a Web3 headhunter at Web3 Job. He has extensive experience. Okay, LJ, are you here?
Yeah, can you guys hear me?
Okay. So thank you so much for being here tonight. Yeah, it's clear right now? Is it clear?
Yes, is my voice clear?
Okay, great. Okay, let's get started. First of all, could you tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got into the Web3 recruiting?
Sure. So yeah, so my name is Love Jhamnani, and most of the people in the industry know me as LJ. And I've been in recruitment, business development, and growth roles for over 10 years now, helping companies scale team across different industry. So I got into Web3 around 2021 cycle when I started working closely with crypto startups and protocols. So what attracted me was the pace of the innovation, and in traditional industry, things can move quite slowly. But in Web3, a project can go an idea of serving users globally within a short period of time, right? So over the years, I helped hire across growth, marketing, business development, ecosystem, research, product, and leadership roles across various Web3 companies. And what keeps me excited in every project is solving a unique problem. So I get an opportunity to connect every great talent with the founders who are building the future of internet and finance.
Okay, that's a great introduction. And since you own your Web3 journey started around 2020 to 2021, let's go deeper into that. How did you transition from Web2 to Web3, and what was the biggest challenge for you?
So I would say transition wasn't as simple as just learning a new industry. So in Web2, it's often enough to understand a company products and hiring requirements. But in Web3, you need to understand the technology, the communities, and the token models and the culture behind the project, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I would still remember one of the biggest challenges were learning the languages of Web3. So
Mm.
when I first entered the space, people were talking about, DeFi, DAO, staking, rollups, tokenization. So I think I realized I couldn't effectively evaluate candidates or advise clients until and unless I truly understand these concepts, right?
Mm.
So what I helped me succeed was staying, curious. I spent time reading white papers, joining communities, attending conferences, listening to founders, and speaking with candidates every day. Over the time, I developed a much deeper understanding of ecosystem. So that allowed me to become a better recruiter and better partner to both candidates and companies.
Mm-hmm. That's really insightful. I like your point that referee is not just a new industry, but also a different language, culture, and way of evaluating talent. On top of it, I like to ask about the role. Before you became a referee recruiter, what were your expectations of the role? And how was it different from reality? For example, what kind of skills do you need to develop?
Yeah, that's a good question. So I would say when I first entered Web3 recruiting, I thought the role would be mainly about sourcing candidates, matching them to job description. But the reality is not that much more strategic than that, actually. So in Web3, recruiters often act as an advisor, market researchers, and brand ambassador for the companies they represent. So founder rely on us to not only to find best talent, but also to provide insight into hiring trends, compensation and expectations, and what top candidates are looking for. So the most important skills I've developed are relationship building, communication, market intelligence,
Mhm.
and ability to quickly learn new technologies and ecosystem. Since the
Mhm.
industry evolves so fast, continuous learning is essential. So I developed these skills by spending time with, as I earlier mentioned, with founders, speaking to candidates daily, attending conferences, joining communities. Stay close to what is happening across the ecosystem. So one thing I've learned that is technical knowledge helps, but curiosity is and adaptability is what really help you succeed long term in Web3 recruitment.
Mm-hmm. That makes a lot of sense. Roughly recruiting sounds much more strategy than simply matching the candidates to the job description. So, in practical terms, what does a typical day look like for you?
Yeah, so typical day usually starts with checking updates from the clients, reviewing new roles, and following up with candidates across different time zones. Since Web3 is global, so I could be speaking with the founder in Singapore, a candidate in Europe, and the hiring manager in New York within all the same day. So as a large part of my day is spending sourcing talent, conducting screening calls, interviewing candidates, coordinating interviews, providing feedback to both clients and candidates, very important. Also spending time on researching protocols and ecosystem because understanding the market helps me identify talent before everyone is looking into it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the role is a mix of recruitment, networking, relationship management, and market research, which keeps things dynamic and interesting for sure.
Wow, that really shows how global and fast-paced with roughly recruiting can be. Now that we understand your daily work, how about the goals and key outcomes for a roughly recruiter? Basically, that means how do you measure your success in your position?
Yeah, that's a very good question. So I think I would say most of the people think that success is simply making placements, but I think it goes beyond that. So for me, success is creating the right match between a candidate and the company. And successful placement is someone who joins, performs well, continue growing within an organization over time.
Mm-hmm.
So some of the metrics we track include quality of candidate presented, interview to offer ratio, and offer acceptance rates and successful placement. But beyond numbers, I think I would say I also look at the long-term outcomes. So three, four questions I would ask myself: Are clients coming back to work with us again? Are candidates recommending us to others, like referrals? And are people we place still thriving in their roles months later, right? If they are able to survive in the company. So when both client and candidate feel the opportunity was the right fit, that's a win for everyone. So yeah,
Mm,
that's all
mm.
about it.
I really like that you define the success beyond just placement and focus on the long-term fit for all parties. So with all that pressure and constant change, I'm curious, what part of a job do you enjoy the most and what makes it fulfilling?
Yeah, so I think important part of my job is to helping people reach the next stage of their careers while also helping companies build their great teams, right? First one is very important for me, helping people. So I work with candidates who joined startups when they were only few people and later become leaders and within those organizations. So seeing someone career growth because of the introduction you made is incredibly fulfilling, right? I still remember
Mm-hmm.
that I played someone, the big companies like Mega ATH and Metal Labs and other companies that I've placed candidates, and they are scaling, placed in the marketing role, and they became like head of marketing and CMO in that particular company, which is glad to
Mm-hmm.
see that. So I also enjoy learning aspects of Web3. Every week there's a new technology protocol. The industry never stands still, like which means I'm constantly meeting smart people and learning new things. So at the end of the day, the recruiting is a people business, and
Mm.
building relationship, earning trust, helping connect great talent with great opportunities is what keeps me passionate about what I do.
Mm. That's really meaningful. I love how you described recruiting as a people business built on the trust and long-term relationship. Now let's zoom out and look at the big picture. From your point of view, what does the hiring market look like right now, especially on the international side and for the early stage teams?
Yeah, so market today is much healthier and more mature than it was during the last full cycle. If you remember the last 3, 4 months, a few years ago, many companies were hiring aggressively. Even the last year, they were hiring aggressively, sometimes prioritizing speed over quality. Today,
Mm,
teams are like being so far intentional about every hire they make. And on an international side, one of the biggest trend is talent has become truly global. So companies are no longer
mm,
restricted by geography. Protocol based in Singapore might hire a researcher from Europe and
mm,
a marketer from Dubai and BD lead from US. The best candidate often wins regardless of location. I know that some of the companies they are looking for people on site, but when I see the most of the companies, they don't care about the location wise, and they check the quality and what the candidate they're hiring for. So for early stage teams, hiring remains one of the global and biggest challenge because every hire has a significant impact on the company's success, right?
mm,
And these teams are typically looking for people who can wear multiple hats, right? Work independently and thrive in an environment where things can change quickly. So let me give you an example of like if someone has joined as a BD lead or like someone has
mhm,
joined as GTM. So they have to take care of sales, they have to take care of ecosystem management, they have to take care of marketing. So
mhm,
they can wear multiple hats. So that's something the talent they are looking for, who can work in different verticals. So another trend I'm
mm,
seeing is increased demand of candidates with genuine Web3 and plus Web2 experience, I would say. Companies want people who understand the ecosystem, have participated in communities, and contributed from day one rather than spending months learning the space and have worked in a fintech. So overall,
mhm,
hiring activity is strong, but
mhm.
companies are also prioritizing quality, adaptability, and proven experience over simply growing headcount.
That's a very clear overview. It's interesting to hear that the market is become more like more mature and more selective. So when the early stage referee teams hire, what do they look for beyond the technical skills? I mean, what kinds of soft skills or cultural fit matter most to them?
Yeah, so this is the one of the biggest misconception about hiring Web3. So technical
Mhm,
skills are important, but they are not often the deciding factors. So, for example, for early stage teams, founders are usually looking for people who are genuinely believe in the mission and are excited about what company is building. Skill can be taught, but passion and convictions are much harder to develop, right? I
mm,
hope you agree with that. So they also look
mhm,
for ownership, accountability,
mm,
and in the startup environment, there is not always a playbook. Teams need people who can identify problems, propose solution, and execute without constant directions, right? And adaptability is another major factor. So Web3 industry move incredibly fast, and prioritize can change overnight.
mm,
So strongest candidates, I would say, are those who can stay calm, learn quickly, and open to change rather than resist it, right? And communication is also very equally important. especially in remote first organizations. Many teams are distributed across multiple countries and time zones. So being able to communicate clearly and collaborate effectively is critical. So let me give an example. And I'm working on one of the great company in Asia, Zeta Block. You might have heard of the company. So they are looking for someone in US currently, but at the same time, they are also looking for someone who can work Asia plus US time zone simultaneously because it's a DevOps role and they need people who can do like 24 by 7 coverage, sitting in Asia and taking care of US. So that's the kind of talent they are looking for. And I think many companies are doing, I think, going for same, like they should be open for 24 by 7 coverage. I know that that's not that easy to find those candidates, but if candidates are open to it, it's a good opportunity. It's a win-win situation for both. So if I had to
Mm-hmm.
summarize what founders values most, I would say they look for people who combine strong skills with curiosity, ownership, resilience, and genuine passion for the ecosystem.
Okay, that's such an important point. It sounds like curiosity, ownership, and adaptability, communication, and mission alignment can be just as important as technical skills. And how about the candidate strategy? For the people trying to move from Red 2 into Red 3, what are the biggest challenges you usually see them face?
Yeah, that's a good question. So I get a lot of resumes and requests from Web2 industry, and they are interested in coming to Web3. But I think the biggest challenge is not a lack of skills, is a lack of understanding of the ecosystem. So I would say like many talented professionals from Web2 assume that their experience alone will be enough to secure a Web3 role. But while their skills may be valuable, companies often want to see the candidates have taken the time to understand the industry, its culture, and the problem
Mm-hmm.
they're trying to solve. But another challenge is the Web3 is highly relationship driven, right? Many opportunities are filled through communities, referrals, conferences, and networking before they are ever publicly posted, right? And I also see candidates underestimate how much self-learning is required. The space moves incredibly fast, and successful candidates is usually is one of the who are constantly learning, experimenting with products, and staying engaged with the ecosystem. But the good news is that Web2 professionals bring a lot of valuable experience. The key is learning how to connect the experience needs to be like needs of Web3 companies. And I would say, uh, I think 30 to 40% of my clients are looking for someone who is having a Web2 experience. And if they have like a little bit of knowledge about crypto, they are still conducting interviews. So right now, I would say like it's been drastically increased the interest of getting people from Web 2 to Web 3.
Mm-hmm.
From last year was not there, but this year I would say like it's 30 to 40% growth I've seen in the companies.
Great. How such actionable advice for anyone listening right now. But what if someone is completely new in that field? How can they still stand out and look like a strong candidate to you and the hiring managers?
Yeah, so I think one thing I always tell my candidates that you don't need a Web3 job to start
Mm,
building Web3 experience, right?
mm-hmm,
So start by becoming an active participant in the ecosystem, use their products, join communities, attend events, contribute to discussions, write content, participate in governance, help projects in areas where you have already have expertise, right? So, for example, if you are a marketer, create a content about Web3 topics, post it on LinkedIn, Telegram, and X. And if you're a
mm-hmm,
developer, contribute to open source projects. You can put your, you can take a part in hackathons. You can make your profile on GitHub and show some crypto projects. If you're a business development professional, start building relationship within an ecosystem, right? Founders
mm-hmm,
love seeing initiatives when someone can demonstrate genuine interest and real
mm-hmm,
involvement, even without a formal Web3 employment. It immediately makes them more attractive as candidates. So people who stand out are usually those who can show they actually started with their Web3 journey before applying for a job. So I would give you an example here. I place in a marketing lead to one of the crypto company. They were looking for someone who is passionate, hungry, and very an early stage of their career, like 1 to 3 years of experience. And
Mm-hmm.
that guy was coming from Web 2, pure Web 2 experience, but he has passion of posting content about Bitcoin, about Elon Musk, about different topics on X and LinkedIn. But he did not have any experience in crypto companies. But when the founder sees his profile on LinkedIn and X, and I mean, the founder got attention that he's posting a lot of content about Web3, which is interesting. And he
Mm-hmm.
has agreed for the call, and the call went well. And founder told us that his passion is very good. He wants to learn, and I will make him learn. And today he's like a head of marketing in that company. That trust me, like he's coming from Web 2 to Web 3 just by posting content on LinkedIn and X, and he got a job, and now he's head of marketing, right? So it's
Mm-hmm.
amazing, right? There to start. Yes.
Mm, that's really a real example. I like your advice. You don't need to you don't need a referee job to start building a referee experience. And on the flip
Yeah.
side, what are some common mistakes people usually make when they are trying to jump into referee? What should they avoid doing?
Uh, I would say, yeah, the one common mistake is I think everyone is doing it, not from the Web 2, is applying to hundreds of rules without taking a time to
Mm,
understand the project themselves.
yeah,
So
sure.
let me give an example. Like if I
Mhm.
post any other role on LinkedIn, I get 100 of resumes every day. Do I have time to go through it? No, I don't have time to go through it. But what you have to be particular about it, you have to mention that why you're applying for the role and what you have learned about the role, why you would be good fit. Sending resumes and sending your expectations would not help, right? Founders can
Mhm.
quickly tell that when the candidate has done their homework versus when they are simply looking for an opportunity in crypto, right?
Mhm.
So another mistake I would say is focusing too much on compensation and tokens before understanding the role, team, and long-term
Mhm.
opportunity, right? So I would still say if I'm speaking with any candidates, or if I'm sending any message to the candidate, most of the candidate respond to me. The first message would be, "What is the salary?" Man, I
Mhm.
mean, you don't even know what's the company I'm hiring for, where is the team located, and which experience they require. You're asking me for the compensation directly. I understand. Some people they're looking for compensation, but it can be discussed later, not in the first
Mhm.
place. So in my eye, that candidate would be no go because he's more focused on salary, not just the team
Mhm.
and the right job, right?
Mhm.
And I see people underestimate the importance of networking. In Web3, the relationship matters a lot. Joining communities, attending events, as I said, like participating in discussions and building genuine connections can often open for more doors than simply submitting applications online. So
Mhm.
finally, some candidates try to sound like experts without actually understanding the fundamentals. So
Mhm.
it's
Mhm.
perfectly okay to be new in the
Mhm.
space, but most founders appreciate curiosity and honesty much more than pretending to know everything, right?
Mm, okay, that's a great reminder for everyone listening. So, doing your homework, being honest, and building genuine relationships, and don't only focus on the salary can make a big difference. So,
Right.
yeah, how fast time flies. We've covered so much valuable grounds today. So that brings us to the final question. Looking ahead to the next year or two, what skills do you think will be the most valuable in Refi? And as a final takeaway, and what advice would you give to our audience who want to explore this space?
Yeah. So I think over the next couple of years, I think we will continue to see strong demand for talent across infrastructure, AI, and stable coins, payments, institutional adoption, security, research, and developer focused ecosystem. So I would say there would be less prioritized role for like community managers, developer relations. So this kind of roles you are not often seeing them, right? Because the companies are not hiring for those roles. The marketing lead or marketing strategists can take care of community management and develop relationships. So these are the roles might get, I would say, like might not be available after a few years. Maybe they can upskill to marketing or some blend of ecosystem and both like community management and developer relationship. But yeah, beyond technical expertise, I believe adaptability will become one of the most valuable skills in the industry. The people who learn quickly, embrace change, and continuously evolving will have a great opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll also seeing the strong demand for professionals who can bridge different worlds, people who understand technology but also can communicate effectively, build partnership, grow communities, and drive adoption. Uh, so I would say, like for anyone who's looking to enter in Web3, my biggest advice is simple: don't wait for permission to get started, right? Join
Mm-hmm.
communities, attend events, use the products, read the white papers, building relationships, share your ideas publicly. The more involvement you become, more opportunities you'll discover. So Web3 rewards people who are curious, proactive, and willing to learn. You often see on Twitter that founders or companies even offer like $100, $500, and if they are willing to participate in a community growth, ecosystem growth, and they have their challenge hackathons. They can offer like starting from $1,000 to $10,000. I've seen many of my candidates have earned great, I mean, much money just participating in hackathons and participating in content challenges. So then you don't need to everything on day one. You just need to start it. So if I
Mm-hmm.
could leave the audience with one final thought, so it would be this: like the best time is to build your reputation in Web3 before you need a job. Focus on learning, contributing, and creating value, and opportunity will naturally follow. Right.
Thank you so much, LJ. That was incredibly insightful. We learned a lot from you. So right now we'll open the floor for a short live Q&A session. We'll take some few questions from our audience. This is a great chance to ask LJ about the Web3 hiring and the recruiting trends. So feel free to unmute your microphone and jump in. Anyone want to ask questions?
Hi.
Hello.
Hi, LJ. This is Joanne talking. And I have a question. So, for someone who just started to explore in Web3 careers, what would you suggest them to focus on first so that they won't feel overwhelmed?
Yeah, again, I think we already covered this, but I think similar kind of questions. First, they have to, make them aware that what industry they are targeting. So, for example, there are a lot of projects that are coming into AI. For example, if they have interest in AI, so read them about what crypto is doing, what blockchain is doing in AI specifically. So there are a lot of projects in AI market currently. Is like Zeta Block, Near Protocol, Ellora Labs, and Aether. I think in Singapore there are popular companies like Aether, and there are a lot of companies in US also. Sahara AI is one of them. I follow them. They're doing pretty good. They are into Web3 and Web2 both, combination of both. So Sahara AI's transition from Web2 to Web3 is good to see that what they're building. So if anyone is interested in AI projects, they have to learn about AI, and then they have to learn about what crypto is doing in AI. If someone is interested in payments, so for example, if someone is coming from fintech, like if someone has worked in PayPal, someone in works in Amazon, someone has worked in any of the industry, in fintech industry specifically. So they have to understand what crypto is doing in fintech, because right now many companies in US also tying up with crypto, and they are working together to in the fintech and crypto both. So they have to learn, they have to start reading white papers, they have to go to website and see what they are doing, they have to follow the founders, keep updated on X pages of companies and news channels, LinkedIn and Telegram. Also, there are a lot of communities where they post good content. So you have to be like read those content. First, you have to start learning and developing interest in Web3. So if someone is coming from Web2 to Web3, the interest is very, very much required, I would say.
Great
Thank you
question,
for
Joanne. Yeah,
sharing.
thank you. Thank you for
Okay.
LJ. Anyone else?
Hello.
Hey.
Hi. Yeah. Hi, LJ. Thank you for sharing tonight. And I really like what you say about like you don't need a Web3 job to build your Web3 experience. And that's really inspiring. Thank you. And yeah, I would like to know today, and if someone comes from a Web2 background, and what's the best way for you for them to present their Web2 experience so it feels like relevant to Web3 industry? Thank you.
Yeah, it's so yeah, that's what I mean. If I get a lot of inquiries, people coming from Web 2 to Web 3. So if you are applying for any Web 3 job, so in your resume, you have to mention what are your learnings, and maybe you can do some internship in any of the companies in Web 3, and if not, then probably, as I said, like you can post content. If you are in marketing, you can post content on Twitter and just add that in a portfolio. You can make a portfolio, a website where you can add the links of Twitter as well as LinkedIn and show us that what you are doing currently. I mean, sending random resumes of Web3 would not help. So I'm coming from Web2 background. I worked in a top IT companies. I worked in a bank. I worked in Credit Suisse Bank for like 2 years. It was is the biggest investment bank, in the world. So when I was going to Web3, I did not get job firsthand. I mean, I had to make the connections, and I started internship in one of the company in China, and they offered me a job for free, and I did not charge anything. So I was doing internship in business development because my communication and my I was in business development role before. So I started my job as a business developer, and I used to reach out to people, for the particular company, pitching them about their products. And I started doing an internship, and they really liked my work. And I think I did for like 3, 4 months, and they offered me a full-time job. Then in internship, I was working for 4 hours, and then in full-time job, I was working for 9 hours. And then I worked there for like 1.5 years. And I mean, I got to learn about crypto, what they are doing, and other companies. And I made a relationship in business development with founders, and in the same companies, I was also working on recruitment side because the team was small and I was supporting them on the recruitment side. So that's how I slowly understand how the recruitment works. And yeah, so business development and recruitment is both are same thing. If you are in business development role, you need to speak with people, and I think in HR and recruitment also you need to speak with candidates. So both are like you have to speak with people to understand what they are looking for. So both jobs are good. So if so I would say like you have to start from something, right? You can't just randomly send resume to any recruiter or any company. Hey, I'm working in IT company. I need to come to Web3. But why? You have to show something, right? You have to show some
Mhm.
articles. You have to show something internship. You have to show some hackathons results and a lot of things. I mean, you just have to show us why you're coming from, your interest. So yeah, that's what I would say.
Mhm. That's a very practical answer. We can open one more quota. Anyone else? Our last question. Anyone? Anyone want to ask LJ?
Hi, LJ. This is Sober. And as you mentioned, you value the personality like adaptability or embrace change, quick learner. So how do you tell which candidate got this personality, these characteristics from their resume? Is there any tips or any suggestion that can help our audience to know how to stand out, among all the candidates if they all have Web3 exposure, like articles or contributions, but how to stand out?
Yeah, so I think that adaptability means the ability to adjust and learn and perform effectively when situation, requirements, or environment changes, right? So learning a new software tool quickly when your company changes systems, so that could be one of the thing. Uh, Taking on different responsibility when team prioritize shift, adjusting your communication style when working with different clients or cultures. So these are the few examples. And if in a resume or interview someone says they have a strong adaptability, so how they learn skills quickly, handle change positively, work in a different environment, solve problems. So these are the set of questions they have to prepare for. Like if I'm screening a candidate, so I would ask these questions like, how do you do that? So these are the basic preparation you have to do. uh, so resume is something is for the first impression. So when someone is sending me a resume, I would see, as I mentioned in the earlier question, that I would first see that what are the interests and if someone has worked in Web3, if not, what they've been doing, how they are following Web3 industry. That would be my first thing to see in the resume. If it sounds interesting to me, I would go for a call, because in recruitment we do call with every candidate, because the screening is very, very important. Nowadays, a lot of fake profiles are coming on LinkedIn. So screening and calls are very, very important for us. So we screen for like 15-20 minutes to understand what is their interest, why they're coming to Web3. So if you are mentioning anything on resume, you have to prepare for it, right? You have to explain me that why you have mentioned this in your resume. So anything you are mentioning on your resume, you are responsible to explain me that why did you mention this. So these are the set of questions which I told you guys. I mean, you can uh, yeah, the candidates can definitely prepare for the screening calls and to impress the interviewers. If they can able to, give us good answers, then probably yes, that would be a win-win situation for both of us.
Okay, great. LJ, may I ask one more question? And what would you recommend the most effective recruiting or job matching websites or channels? Yeah, to I think more most valuable or effective channel for employer or for recruiter, and also for employee.
Channels, okay. So for candidates, they can join a lot of communities on Telegram. There are a lot of communities available on Telegram, different companies, communities. You can join them and understand what they are doing currently. Uh, for recruiters, again, the same. You have to join communities and follow companies. I would say, for example, there are top companies like Egan Labs. There are companies like Meta Labs and Mega ITH, and Monad Foundation and Beta Chain. So there are a lot of companies I work with. They are doing great jobs. So you have to follow them. You have to see like what they are doing currently. I would say like avoid applying jobs via public listing. You won't get shortlisted because they get like thousands of applications every day. So I would say like I would advise candidates to follow recruiters, and if you have access to emails or maybe on Telegram or email, if you are sending your resumes, just show them like why you are applying for this position, why you are a good fit, and why we would bring you to the table and for the screening call. So that's something you have to show, and your communication should be proper, and your attention to recruiter and to founder should be good. Your message should be good. So yeah, that's something candidates can follow rather than just applying to hundreds of jobs. It won't work out because right now, in crypto and blockchain, I think most of the companies are working with agencies right now, and they want filter candidates. They don't want like thousands of application. They can definitely open a channel and they can get thousands of resumes, but they don't want that. What they want is from recruiters, and recruiters' job is to find the best resume out of 100, and they can go for a screening call and further suggest to the clients. So that's something I would suggest to the candidates. You have to make good format of resume, avoid mentioning spacing or fonts, or fonts like keep the size like as professional, font as professional, and mention what you have done and what's your interest. And also if you are, because I've seen people who have, putting like I'm working in marketing, business development, growth, ecosystem, and developer relation community manager. So one of the resumes example I'm giving you is like I've got resumes. One of the candidates he mentioned I've done everything. So I don't want who has done everything, right? I want something what you have done specific, right? What you have done specific in that particular position. So yeah, so irrespective of like if you are mentioning everything on the resume would not help. You have to mention one proper thing that you have done for the company. And if you are a business development, if you're applying for any business development job, you have to mention the numbers. Like for example, what revenue you have bring to the table. So, with an example that I was speaking with with one of the business development candidate, when I asked how much revenue have you have bought till now, you have collected till now, so he did not have an answer. So if you are applying for any number-driven job, you have to show us like what revenue you have collected, how many leads you have secured, and there are a lot of things. And even marketing, if you are applying for marketing job, because of your marketing content, how many followers you have gained in the current company. So you have to show us number on the resume. So more number you show on the resumes, the more chances you get for the interviews call. Yeah. Does that answer your question?
Great. Yes, great. Thank you. Thank you for your practical
Perfect.
sharing. Thank you.
Perfect.
Thank you, LJ. Well, looking at the time, that brings us to the end of today's session. LJ, thank you so much for sharing your comprehensive insight so openly with us tonight. I'm sure everyone listening has gained a clearer understanding of the rapid hiring landscape, what early stage teams are looking for, and how to better prepare for a transition from Red 2 to Red 3. And to everyone who joined us tonight, thank you so much for spending your time with us. We hope this conversation has been helpful and inspiring for your own career journey. If you enjoyed this session, feel free to share your takeaways with us on Twitter. Matidao will continue to invite professionals from across the referee industry to share their experiences and practical advice. This session will be available on our podcast channel, Inside Referee Careers, on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. So feel free to listen again and share with your friends. Once again, thank you, LJ. And thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful evening, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you everyone for
Bye.
contributing. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Bye-bye.
much.
Good day. Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.